You know what I love? I love Crash Bandicoot. I still remember being a little fella back in the far-off time of the mid-90s and renting an original copy of Crash Bandicoot from our local Blockbuster, and falling in love with this goofy orange marsupial and gaming in general. Now, Crash was originally developed by the legendary Naughty Dog, being their first game for Sony's shiny new console and their first fully 3D game. The then unproven studio envisioned Crash to be the game that would forever redefine the platformer genre and be a contender for the coveted mantle of console mascot for the PlayStation. And while Mario 64 ate their lunch in terms of redefining the genre, and video games in general, Crash Bandicoot ended up being a hit and did earn some recognition as a mascot for Sony's little gray box. Fast forward to 2017, and Activision, along with Vicarious Visions, faithfully remade the original Crash trilogy to the delight of many a millennial. And upon release, many loudly proclaimed the game to be extremely difficult, like the Dark Souls of platformers. Now, of course, the game is tough, but that's just how 90s platformers were back then. Cute, colorful, and evil. Now, luckily for you, I've made it a habit of playing the original Crash Bandicoot every other year or so for the last, 20 years, and my knowledge and muscle memory for this game is vast, to say the least. So you know what? Why don't you sit back, grab yourself a drink, I'll talk you through it, because Crash's girl ain't gonna rescue herself. This is Master Crash. Alright kids, level 1. You're gonna see these 3 crates in front of you. That is a question mark crate that's either gonna have fruit or an extra life in this case. And then those are bounce crates. You get fruit from them when you jump on them. There's 10 fruits in every crate. You get 2 at a time when you jump on them, meaning it's gonna break in 5 jumps. Keep that in mind. Alright, run down the hill, spin the enemy crab, and get the first mask. Now, the mask is essentially a health buff. See, Crash can die in 1 hit, so when you have a mask, he'll take that hit for you. If you have 2 masks, he'll take 2 hits for you, and if you get a 3rd mask, you'll have temporary invincibility. Got it? From here, make some jumps, kill some crabs, get the 2nd mask, go up these steps, and you'll reach the first checkpoint, and a 3rd mask for a little temporary invincibility. So if you notice too, I come to this fork in the road and I took the left path. This is actually kind of a quirky thing in the first level, and is a pretty good hint of how tricky Crash Bandicoot can be to complete. Double back and take the right path, and you'll come to this strange pit with these sort of white lined boxes. You hit that thing, they fill in with crates. And then very carefully you have to jump on all of these boxes. Shit. Well, I didn't call it Master Crash for nothing. Okay, so you spin the last box and then you get the gem. Every level has a gem. If you break all the boxes, you'll get the gem. They're technically optional. You don't have to collect all of them to beat the game, but if you do, the game will reward you very handsomely. Just wait and see. Some levels, you have to break all the boxes without dying. That will get you the color gems. We'll cover what the color gems do as we go along, but essentially, they just unlock secret paths. And level 2. The very beginning of this level, you will see the new crate, the TNT crate. Do not spin this crate, you will go boom. What you're gonna do is hop on it like that, start a little countdown, and you're good. You're gonna run into this skunk, spin it, then you're gonna run into 2 more skunks, spin those, and then let's just spin this piranha plant back to Mario. Jump past the roller and get the first Tana symbol. Now, starting from this point, almost every level is going to have a bonus level. These are unlocked when you collect the 3 Tana symbols. In the original game, if you beat these levels, your reward was being able to save the game. That's what the 90s were like, kids. Now, you'll hit the first checkpoint of the level, and you'll notice that fun wireframe looking thing. Don't worry about that right now, but don't expect to get a gem at the end of this level. Get the next Tana symbol, kill those skunks, and then you'll come to this tricky little thing right here. Slight tap of the jump, do a spin, move on, you're good. Clear the roller gap, get the 3rd symbol, and you activated the teleporter for the bonus level. Nothing really crazy with this bonus level, just a few crates, a little jump, and then Tana at the end. Yeah, in the original game, Cortex didn't even come and steal her away. She was just there for some reason. I don't know. Alright, rest of the level's pretty straightforward. Rollers, piranha plants. You'll come to the end, and once again, you're not getting the gem. Don't be too butthurt on this. We'll be able to come back to this level later and get these last 3 nagging boxes. But for now, let's move on. Level 3. I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this level or any of the gate levels in the game. I guess they're just kind of finicky, if I had to be honest. I think the big thing are these right here, these sort of jump platforms. You have to hold down X to go higher. That always trips up new players. You never really have a good feel for your jump. Otherwise, the level's pretty straightforward to get through. You got some turtles to contend with, some more plants. You got these monkeys rolling around. This is another big feature of the level, kind of these spinning platforms. Basically, you spin them, the platform goes horizontal, and you're able to jump on it. It does wiggle back vertically after a little bit, so you got to keep your eye on that. Anyways, get past that, get on these platforms, and then hit the first checkpoint. Now, eventually you're going to come to these spiked totems. These are pretty easy to get past. They'll shake right before they shoot up, so it's really just about timing and keeping your eye on them. Once you get past that, you'll come up to these natives. Just jump on top of their head, leaving them exposed for you to spin them. Run up the moss slope. These things are annoying. Jump over the torch when it's not on fire, through the spikes, and you'll get to the bonus stage. Yeah, nothing too special about this stage. There's just some boxes at the end you have to activate and jump on. Shouldn't be too much trouble. So after the bonus, it's just a straight shot through the spikes to the end. Once again, you're going to notice no gem and another invisible platform. They make it look so painful. Alright, now we're on boulders. We're gonna nerd out for a little bit, kids. This is probably one of the most iconic levels in Crash Bandicoot, and a lot of you may recognize this from that Easter egg in Uncharted 4, which was just the best. But what's really interesting is actually starting from this point, Naughty Dog has put a level like this in just about all of their games. I think the only exceptions are the racing games and The Last of Us. And I don't know, I love this sequence. I'm so happy whenever these pop up. They just give me all sorts of nostalgic joy. Anyways. Now, boulders may seem intimidating, but honestly, it's really not that bad. Just try and keep yourself in a straight line as best you can throughout the level, and just be ready to be jumping over obstacles and pits the whole way. There are many of them, and be vigilant about getting boxes. They tend to be placed in front of obstacles almost immediately. Keep your eye out for the fruits as you're going. These will actually guide you around obstacles and help you out a little bit. They might put a box out of the way every once in a while to trip you up, but it's nothing really too bad. This end part is probably the trickiest part of the whole level, with the pillars sticking out of the pits. But like I said, stay in a straight line, keep jumping, and boom, Gem City. Upstream! Yeah, this level can kind of be a bit of a pain for first-time Crash players. My big piece of advice is use the D-pad on this, especially if you're not super comfortable with platformers. The trick to this level, just like in boulders, is just stay in a straight line, and the D-pad lets you do that the easiest. I think for newer players, when they use the thumbstick, it's really hard to do that, and so they end up veering off and falling into the water and drowning. So yeah, use the D-pad if you're not comfortable with platformers, or honestly if you're playing Crash for the first time. Now, the big obstacle to contend with are these Venus flytraps in the water. Basically, when you jump on them, it'll cause them to snap, meaning you only have about a second to jump off of them before they kill you. But the real tricky ones are the purple ones. The purple ones shut their mouths on regular intervals, so you have to time your jump accordingly. When they wiggle is your big tip-off that they're about to clamp, so watch out for that. And yes, as you can see, invisible platforms will be coming back here. Now, from the checkpoint on, it's just a matter of doing the bonus level. It's another pushover. I don't think you have too much trouble with this one. Get through this last obstacle with these floating leaves and one last purple Venus flytrap, and you got the level. That was weird. Alright, so now we're on boss number 1. That's Papu Papu. And let me tell you, Papu Papu ain't shit. Ain't shit. Dodge his pull, wait for him to stop, jump on his head, rinse, repeat. In the original game, you only had to hit him 3 times. In this one, you have to hit him 5, which I guess is their little method of making it artificially harder. But either way, I don't think you have to sweat this one too much. Haha, the level's a pun. This is just a harder version of Jungle Rollers with the roly-polies here. The real bullshit are these alternating ones right here. Not too bad though, just wait for them to be on opposite sides, go right through the middle. Now, when you come up to this bouncy box right here, after you kill the crate, jump extra high and ooh, you got yourself a new symbol. Based on one of the game's big bad guys, Nitrous Brio. Yeah, just like the Tana symbols, if you collect 3 of these, you'll unlock a bonus level, and yeah, it's a real treat. Now you run up here, clear this nonsense, and you'll come to this fun little box formation. jump in the center, get that extra life. And if you're really skilled like me, you should be able to hit all of these boxes, but if you want the second Brio symbol, it's on the upper left. Run, Crash, run! Right here is just some platforming joy, alternating rollers, little moving pit pillars, and pits. You go through a few rounds of that and eventually get to the bonus stage. Now, this is the first time my bonus stage throws a little bit of fuckery your way. You gotta hop on these boxes in kind of this stairway formation, and of course, they're above a pit. You're probably gonna fall a couple times, but you'll get it eventually, and it's good practice for harder parts in the later game. Move forward and take note of that wireframe right there. Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't lead to a secret later on. Kill the stanks and get the third Brio symbol. This level's a real bitch, you're probably gonna die a lot. Keep your left stick held to the right as you jump so you don't get stuck on those stupid boxes up above you. For this last part, you only need to spin the first crate, the TNT will take care of the rest, and then you just have these 3 extra life boxes and you're good. Fuck! And now moving on to the level where Crash mounts a hog. Yeah, the first time you play this level's probably gonna drive you a little crazy, but I think it's fun. I mean, it's fun themed, the music's fun. Yeah, it's fun music. The best I can really tell you is when you're going over jumps, make sure you're holding down that X button to its fullest so you can get the full arc of your jump. It's extra important with these drums. You have to really be holding that X button down to even clear these gaps. That's really as much advice as I could really give on this level. For the natives and the cooking boars, it's really just a matter of trial and error and just keeping in mind which direction they're going to be when you come to them. Look, you're gonna die on this a few times, but after a few deaths, the muscle memory will kick in, you'll have it licked in no time, trust me. Native Fortress. This is really just a harder version of level 3, the Great Wall. We have another round of these finicky jumping metal boxes, which I'm just not a big fan of. Past that, I mean, it's more turtles, it's more piranha plants, it's more monkeys, more spikes, more fire pits. Oh, and there's also this Tower of Anxiety. Ugh. There's not much even really going on with the bonus stage in this level either. I mean, you got one bouncy jump, a couple gaps, and a couple stray boxes. Like, I feel like we've had harder bonus levels up to this point. And then we come to this ultimate little spinny log and bouncy box section. Remember, Crash goes higher when you hold down that X. It's not the best feeling thing in the world, but it's what you gotta do. There is an Aku Aku mask just chilling out in the ether there. Definitely worth your time to float over and grab him. Here I have probably my biggest pro tip for the level. Jump on that turtle, get the bouncy box, and if you notice behind Crash, there's kind of this gap in the spike wall. If you jump behind that, you can bypass all of this bullshit. It's one of my favorite secrets in the whole game. Then you'll exit right above this torch. Make sure you jump out when it's not on fire. From here, it's basically a nightmare of spikes, torches, and moss-covered slopes. Just be careful, take your time through it. Make sure to spin those piranhas as soon as possible because they will chomp you as soon as you touch down on the ground. And of course, take note of the red invisible platform. We will definitely be coming back. From here, we'll come to these triple torches. You'll notice another little gap in the wall. There's nothing really special other than an extra life. So if you're hurting for more life, not a bad thing to do, but otherwise, I would just skip it. And to finish off the level, it's another round of spinny logs and bouncy boxes. Gotta make sure to get these boxes right here at the end. Or don't, I guess at this point, because, well, we're not getting the gem. And with that, we have finished Island 1, and now we are on to Island 2. Thank you everyone for watching this incredibly silly video. I will be coming out with parts 2 and 3 in the coming weeks. If you liked the video, please give me a like. If you disliked it, definitely give me a dislike. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Until next time, thank you very much.